only to find his wife in the house with another man. I said, Jesus. Jesus. Hi people, welcome back. If it's your first time, my name is Talia Adewale and this is DISBYDEM. We are going to be talking about Love After Divorce Season 7, Episodes 1 and 2. I think 5 episodes are out right now. I was going to do all 5, but I don't know if you can tell, guys. It's been a rough couple of weeks for me. I've been sick, so I'm kind of on the mend right now. But yeah, I'm on the mend because I was able to do 2 seasons of The Rising of Shield Hero. I think that's what it's called. See, my Crunchyroll is active, guys, so I've been going down the isekai. Well, it's been a journey. Loving it. I was watching that, which was distracting because I was in bed. I couldn't really do anything, right? So I was just in bed, just laying there, just watching anime after anime after anime. I loved it. Honestly, I loved it. In between naps, forced sleep, rest, and being awake. That's all I was doing. Go ahead, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Do everything, guys, that you're supposed to do, and let's just get into it. So, Love After Divorce, I haven't watched since season 4, which was the one that introduced me to the show, and that was because it was on Netflix, so it was easy access, right? I wanted to watch 5 and 6, but the places where I found them, they never completed them, or there were no subtitles. So this one, so far, there have been subtitles. The subtitles are in the gutter. They are in hell. But we have subtitles. So I'd rather we have something than nothing. And if you don't know what Love After Divorce is, guys, it's a show that brings, mature divorcees and divorcees, I think, together in order to give them a second, third, or whatever chance at love. I've not seen any couple or any single who has been divorced more than once, though. So it gives them a second chance at love. The season 4 that I watched, 3 couples did couple up after the show, but only 2 made it, with one actually having a kid, Jimin and what's her name? Can't remember her name, but I remember his name because I don't know if I said this before, but his ex was in my comments. I don't know if she was or not, but a person claiming to be his ex was in my comments, saying, just saying some things from my last reviews on season 4. So he and the girl that he married, they do have a baby now. I think they go back and forth between Korea and the US, but they're mostly in LA. And also, I can't remember her name. Is it Bonita? Is it? And I can't remember his name either, but they were my favorite. I know it's weird, I know, but they were my favorite because he was so funny. They are also still together, and I don't know if they're getting married, but they're definitely still together. I think, correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but I think Love After Divorce has the highest or the most successful rate of couples who have left the show and stayed together. Because when they were counting them in this season in episode 1, I was like, oh my god, that has to be the highest success rate for Korean shows. Because we all know that Korean dating shows are really not the best. They've not really been the best at creating solid couples. But this one has. And I think that they need to tip their hat to them. It's very impressive and I love that for them. I think maybe because it is focused on people who have already been married, so the second chance, they know what to do and what not to do, and maybe that's what it is. I really liked it. The hosts are pretty much the same as usual, with the exception of the new girl, who was so cute. I didn't even know because I didn't watch previous seasons, like the previous 2 seasons, but the new woman there is actually one of the singles who got married from, I think, 4 or 5, maybe 4, I don't know, no, not 4, either 5 or 6. I don't know which one, because I didn't watch those seasons, right? But she's so beautiful, and her commentary was always very direct. So it was, like I said, the subtitles are in the gutter, right? So it was by episode 2 that I was like, oh my god, the way she's speaking is almost like she has experience. And then they said it, she made some hints about when it was time for her own show, and that's how I really nailed it down, that she's a previous single. I loved it. This season is set in Gold Coast, Australia. Good for them. And they call it Love After Divorce, or they call it Doll Singers, I think. I always called it just Love After Divorce. So the introduction was intense. That first, the first montage they give us of the entire season, it was intense, guys. It seemed like there's going to be some, some things going down in this. Oh, I'm excited. But then we get to meet the guys, the men and women, because these are not boys and girls, guys. These are men and women. So we have Hee Jung. He really had very strong features. He's been divorced for 3 years. I don't know, something about him just, I don't know. It wasn't red, it wasn't yellow flag, it was just a flag. And I can't really tell you why, because even when I watched episode 2, there was really nothing sparking out for me. I think maybe because he's very primped. Like his eyebrows are done well. Like he takes care of himself. And there's just a saying in my own culture, so I'm very wary. I'm not saying that I want a dirty man, guys. I don't know what it is. There's nothing. Like I said, he hasn't done anything. But there's just something about him that gave me pause. And then we saw Yeon. She's been divorced 2 years. This woman is beautiful. I was already feeling her. And then she said that she likes Dex. So I was like, yes, I like you. Because everybody knows that I like Dex, guys. No, she's beautiful. I really liked her coming on. She looked very young. Even one of the hosts was saying that she's too young. She looks too young. But like, just appreciated her. Very cute. Very put together. Just loved her. Next was Jiwoo. She's been divorced 1 year. For her, I wrote sophisticated beauty because that's what she was giving. Very classy, elegant, but also slightly cheeky. I kind of liked it. And then it starts to rain, guys, and they make these people sit in the rain. I was like, God damn. The things you have to do to find love. It's crazy. It's crazy. It just made me laugh. Next was Sungwoo. He's been divorced for 6 years. He is extremely handsome. This man is handsome. Sorry, all these shows that I watch because they're all young, boys and girls. This man is very handsome. He gives that boy next door vibe. Now for him, even though there's something very alluring about him, I'm very wary of nice looking guys. Not like nice boys. You know when they say, oh, he's a nice man. That's what he kind of gives, and I'm very wary about that. So I've got my eye on him for this season. I want to see how he rolls, guys. I want to see how he rolls. Next is Do Hyung. He's been divorced 5 years, and I wrote shy type. He does give man though, but he looked very, very shy. After him came Arum, and she's been divorced for 2 years. And I just wrote cute. There was really nothing much standing out about her, so just cute. I actually preferred her in her one-on-one interview than how she looked when she came into the house originally. And there was a couple people that I did that to. Even for Do Hyung, I preferred him in his one-on-one interview than how he looked when he entered the house. Do Sing house is what they usually call it. Next was In Hyung. And he's been divorced for 2 years. He was very serious looking until he smiled, and then he looked like a puppy. I'm not gonna lie. In Hyung and Heejun kind of had a back and forth. They seemed to be arguing about nothing, but they were just kept one-upping each other. Nobody wanted to. They each wanted to have the last say. Is basically what was happening. And it's like, is that absolutely necessary? We don't need all this macho. This thing. It was very passive aggressive, friendly, not friendly. It was very friendly. If you watch American Dad, you know what friendly is. But they really did have that back and forth. In my head, I was like, this is going to be one of two things. Either these people are going to be enemies full out, or they're going to be very good friends in the end of it. Next was Soa. She was very nervous. She's been divorced 6 years. So her coming down, she looked very elegant and put together, very gorgeous. But I preferred her in her one-on-one because then you actually see her personality. And as soon as they switch to the one-on-one, she's just out there, very bubbly. She has this like little girl persona. I just love her. God, she's a burst of sunshine. And every time I see her more, I fall in love more. I really do like her. I don't know how I'm going to feel by the end of the season, guys. But for now, I really like Soa. Next was Donggun. That's how they were pronouncing it. I would have said Donggun. But Donggun, he's been divorced 9 years. 9 years. I said he was cute in his one-on-one. I preferred him in his one-on-one, but when he came into Dolsing house, he looked a little too serious. He does temper out. You know, it's their first meeting now, so everybody's really uptight and nervous in their introductions and all that kind of stuff. So he does mellow out eventually, but I preferred him in his one-on-one. He looked a lot better there. And last but not least, we have Myunggun. She's been divorced 1 year. So Myunggun is absolutely gorgeous. Very pretty. I immediately wrote that she'll be one of the most popular people in the house. In her one-on-one, also preferred her in her one-on-one. She was cute when she entered Dolsing house, but I preferred her in her one-on-one. When she was talking in her one-on-one, she said she is very desperate to find a husband and create a family for herself. I wrote that is not good. Now, in between that interview, that one-on-one interview, and episode 2, she hasn't said that desperate thing again. So I'm hoping that that was months away and she has kind of healed herself from her divorce and whatever it is that she felt was lacking. Because I don't think desperation is the way to come into this house and see all these people. I do not think so at all. However, we will see. They then explore the house. The house is huge, guys. It is huge. It is beautiful. They have everything from I think a basketball court to like a photo booth, and it was fantastic. The rooms get picked, and I think it was 322 or something like that. I don't know. I'll put pictures up, guys. I can't be bothered. So what they now there's a lot going on, but I'm only sticking to like the important stuff as usual. They talk about first impressions, and Hee Jung's first impression was Yeon, Sungwoo was Jiwoo, Donggun, In Hyung, and Do Hyung all liked Myung Un, and Dong Un and In Hyung are roommates, so you just know that there's gonna be a rivalry there. For the girls, so for the women, Soa was Dong Gun, Arum was Do Hyung, Yeon was Sungwoo, so they matched, which was kind of nice. Yeon was Sungwoo, Jiwoo was Sungwoo as well, so they matched, which is kind of nice. At least both of them are feeling each other. And right, Yeon was Sungwoo. Oh, that makes sense, because I did watch the previews for episode 3, and then some things were happening, and I was like, oh, when did that happen? Okay. And Myung-un was In Hyung, so they matched, which is kind of nice. And that was the end of episode 1. Episode 2 rolls around. They're gathered together, and it's time for them to reveal the reasons for their divorce. The amount of cheating that a lot of them talked about, it was crazy. I was like, oh my god, why do people do it? Oh my god. So Hee Jung, he said that he just worked too much and he didn't have time for his family, and that led to the breakdown. Sungwoo, he said that they were living with his in-laws, and there was they had a lot of financial differences, or it was basically financial reasons. He did talk about one time where he had to do odd jobs just to make ends meet, and he was taking care of his in-laws, he was taking care of his wife, he was taking care of a ton of people. And there's one day that he got home and he just stayed outside, and he was just weeping. His story was very like grab your heart. It was a lot. Jiwoo said that she married young and that she was immature, so they were fighting a lot, but in the end her husband was cheating on her with a woman that they went to his wedding together. With a woman that they went to her wedding together. So her husband was cheating on her with a married woman. Oh my god. Crazy. And Aram said that they both lost trust. I didn't really understand. Like I said, the subtitles they're not the best, but I didn't really grasp what she was saying. But also, they don't really always say exactly what it is that happens. They kind of just allude to what was going on and stuff like that. So I don't know, but she said that they lost trust. Do Hyung said that he moved abroad right after they got married. They got married also young, and then it was during that COVID period. So because they were both newlyweds, trapped in this time period where you couldn't really do anything, you couldn't socialize, you couldn't do anything, it was very difficult for them. So they were fighting a lot, and that just led to a lot of strife. They just felt like it just broke down their marriage completely, and after they decided to get divorced, she left the country in like 3 days. It was also sad. He said there was a period where he, like, everything around him was just reminding him of his wife and everything like that. And there's a period where he opened the fridge and he just started weeping, and I was like, oh, so sad, so very sad. Myung-yoon said that there was a lot of love, but something happened. Yet again, another one where I don't understand what it is that she was saying exactly. And then that led to a lot of fights, and eventually it just broke down the marriage. In Hyung, oh god. This man used to go on business trips, and then there was one time that the trip got cancelled early, so he returned home early, only to find his wife in the house with another man. I said, Jesus, Jesus, she was cheating on him in his house. Why do people do it? Why? If you don't like your life, leave. Why? No, man, no. Oh, that one was like, God have mercy. Cheating is bad on its own, and then you are doing it in your house, on your mind. No. Donggun said that his wife was cheating too, and then there was one time that they were all hanging out, and she called him brother. She was on the phone and she said, I'm with my brother. Oh God. And his own, I think they had done the license, but they hadn't really done the wedding. So when they were expecting them to do the wedding, they were doing divorce instead. I said, Lord have mercy. Mercy on my soul. Year one hits us with the mother-in-law, guys. The mother-in-law. Was it? Yeah, it was year one, right? So the mother-in-law didn't really approve of her. Never liked her, so that just led to the breakdown of the entire marriage completely. If you guys know my story, me and my mother-in-law did not used to get along. I'm Christian, my husband is Muslim, if you didn't know. So if you know anything about African households, Nigerian households, that shit don't work. It's just it is frowned upon. That's the best way that I can say strongly frowned upon for you to have interreligious marriages. Is that what it's called? Even intertribal marriages are frowned upon. It's a weird thing in my country. So me and my mother-in-law did not have the best relationship. Also, my husband did not prime. Let's just do a little tangent here. Let's talk. My husband did not even prime his family about dating me. So when we got engaged, he just up and calls them and says, I'm engaged. And his mother is like, what? I didn't even know you were dating. What do you mean you're getting married? Oh, she's Christian? Oh my God. This witch has stolen my son. Guys, it was a thing. We were announcing our engagement. My mother-in-law was crying on the phone. Crying. Scarred for life. I was scarred by that experience. I'm not even going to lie. So it kind of set the tone. It set the tone for my entire 3 years of marriage. In fact, we were engaged for a period. I think we engaged for 2 or 3 years. In that period, his younger sister got engaged, got married, had her first child. We were still waiting for approval from his family. I said, fuck it. Fuck that shit. I was pissed. Don't get me wrong, I was happy for his younger sister. Her life, it's just the timeline. And I was like, oh my God. So I said, you either marry me now and leave them, let them be deciding what they're doing, or we call it quits. And then she came 2020, because that's when I had my babies, and we got trapped because of COVID. Guys, it was war. Ooh, my poor husband. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. We had it out though. When it was time, her flight kept getting pushed back because of COVID. We went to the airport. They said they were not going to take her. I looked this thing, what's it called, flight attendant or whoever those people in the front that check your plane ticket. I looked her in the eyes. I said, take her away, or somebody will die. The woman could see the desperation in my eyes. Guys, somebody would have died. I don't know if it was her, me, or my husband, but somebody would have died if she had stayed in this country. Yeah. Oh my God, it was. I can laugh about it now because, oh my God, guys, it was bad. But now we're good. I talked to her. We're just good. She just had to adjust to me, and I had to adjust to her. And I told her, I said, I'm in your son's life forever. He's happy. Look at him. He's happy. We're both happy. We're thriving. We're good. Just free it. We're good now, Sha. Sorry, God, that was a long time. It's a story. It really is a thing. Anywho. So I know when she said mother-in-law, I was like, yes. And even before I got married, my prayer was always I never wanted a mother-in-law who would stress me, because you grew up watching these Nigerian movies and the mother-in-laws were always tyrants. And I was like, I don't want to have to deal with that. It was partly one of the reasons why I never even wanted to get married. Another reason was that I never really saw good examples of marriages growing up. It was never a thing that you could see healthily growing up. So it was never my intention to get married, and this was one of the reasons. But it is what it is. So when year one said that her mother-in-law never liked her, and she kind of just broke down that, I said, I get it, girl. I get it. God delivered me, but I understand your situation. Woof! Oh my God. Soa also said that her mother-in-law basically called her, she said something about her, but she basically called her ugly when she was introduced to her. And the mother-in-law told them to hide their marriage because Soa's ex I think he was an athlete or something, and maybe he was in the height of his career, and she decided to do it too. So she really opened the door for a lot of verbal abuse, and it never stopped. So eventually she just had to break away from that for her own peace of mind. I was like, you go, girl. She's too childlike. She's too innocent for her to have gone through such abuse, and I really felt for her when she was telling her story. So they all kind of like, applaud each other, and they encourage each other and everything, which was kind of nice, and it's something off their chest. The next one will be children, but at least for now the divorce thing is off their chest and they can rest easy. They then get a text that there's going to be a jogging date and they have to be ready at 6 a.m. God, these people are all at least over 35. What are they doing? Let them sleep. 6 a.m. Fuck no. You can go by yourself. I don't care. Oh my God. But you have to be in the same car in order to make it. So they're all trying to decide and everything. Yeon immediately said she wasn't jogging. She had been in the military. So she said she had done enough of that she never wants to jog again. So she was very like, I'm not jogging, I'm not doing it, I'm going to sleep. Because she said that she wasn't jogging. Jung said that he wasn't going to go either. He likes her. And they're still up at 3 a.m. trying to decide. A bunch of them were still up at 3 a.m. trying to decide whether they're going jogging or not. I was like, these people, they don't know how old they are, right? They should continue. In the morning, In Hyung leaves without waking Dongwon. Even though they had agreed the night before that he was going to wake him up, But In Hyung said that he considers Dongwon his competitor because they both like the same girl. So he was just, he was basically being competitive at that point in time. I thought it was cold-blooded, man. I get it. You don't want this guy getting an upper hand with the girl that you like. But I just didn't like it. It was kind of mean-spirited for the second night. I think gauge the situation first. Figure it out and decide if that is who you truly want before you go for the jugular. But again, they only have 7 days in this thing. So I get it, but I don't, In the end, it ended up backfiring because only Do Hyung, In Young, and Soa end up going jogging. Do Hyung and In Hyung went because of Myung Un, who didn't make it, and Soa went because of Dongwon. But In Hyung did not wake him up, so he didn't show up. They were all sad. All of them were sad. The people that they went for, they didn't get. They do end up going for the jog, and it ends up being nice. Scenery was absolutely fantastic, but these people were not interested in each other. Dongwon does get up eventually, and he makes breakfast for everybody, but in the end he doesn't join in on the people eating because the person he made the breakfast for wasn't awake yet. He'd made the breakfast for Myung-un, but she hadn't woken up this thing. And even when she woke up, she didn't really get the full effect of the fact that he made the breakfast for them. They get a text saying that there's going to be random dates and it's ladies' choice to choose keywords, and they had these pictures of animals and key phrases that the men had already chosen and set up. It's gonna be 2 double dates and then 1 single date. Soa grabs the first one instantly. She, without hesitation, she goes there, just grabs it, and then the rest of them grab it. But Myung-un, for some reason, had gone to her room to get socks. I don't really know why. Kind of works out in her favor because was it not the otter that was left? I think it was the otter that was left, and she loved it. She said, "Oh, I love that," and she took it. She was very happy by her choice. So in the end, Myung-un got Do-young. He was so happy. That's who he wanted. Arum got Dong-un. He was not happy. That's not who he wanted. But these groups ended up being in a double date, so he was excited because at least he still gets to spend time with Myung-un. Ji-woo got Sung-woo. They were so happy because they both like each other, and I was like, what are the odds? What are the odds that keeps like pushing them together? Because even in the morning they had breakfast together. Like they always seem to be coming together. It's kind of nice, And Yeon got Hee-jung. He was very happy about that. These two will be going on another double date. So in the end, so the other one left was Soa and In Hyung. I don't think there's anything between those two, but you never know. Interaction on a date can make things change, make things happen. You never really know. But yeah, that's where episode 2 ended. I'm gonna put this on and see how it does. If nobody's feeling season 7 at this point in time, I'm not gonna waste my time doing reviews. Just gonna watch it on my little old time, guys. Cannot be for that. Plus, I'm still recovering, so I'm not really stressed out about this. If I had to choose between this and Heart Signal 8, I will choose Heart Signal 8 because I do like those singles, and I think things are really heating up on that one. But I'll put this out. I'll put the filler, basically put this out as a filler and see what you guys think. Let me know if you're watching this. I think that Love After Divorce is an amazing concept. I really like the show. I wish we'd had subtitles for the other 2 seasons. I would have watched them in a heartbeat because 4 was fantastic. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to do all the right things. Make sure you check our Patreon. There's a lot going on there. Our final draft is coming up on there. I'm wrapping up Mr. Queen on there. I'm also doing Date My Friend on there. There's a lot of stuff that's not going to make it on YouTube, guys. So be sure to check Patreon. Do not sleep on it. And there's also a lot of free stuff on Patreon as well. There's a whole playlist of all free stuff that you can check out as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.